Hey everybody, welcome to the next Conan Exiles custom map tutorial, video number 5, and we're going to cover, really quickly, let me look at my notes here, we're going to cover level stream distances, setting up the level stream distances, NPC camp sublevels, and I'm also going to cover the location spawn table one more time to fix an issue. So, all right, let's go ahead and we'll start this tutorial and hang on tight. Okay, so let me go ahead and switch over to my main display here. All right, okay, we got the main display up. All right, our content folder. All right, let's go down to our mods folder where your mod is and go to the preload folder and go to the map spawn locations data table. Open that up, and quickly what I want to cover on this table is if we scroll down to the bottom of this table, down here it says use first time spawns. Okay, now I had you guys check mark that last time, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you to uncheck it, and I want you to test this and test this on your start locations on your map. But what I found is when I unchecked this, I actually was spawning accordingly in the character creation to the actual location I would pick in the window. So ship 1 and then ship 2, and I'd spawn at those. And I tested a few times and found that with this disabled and unchecked, I was spawning at the appropriate places. So if you want to make sure your players spawn at the appropriate place where they select, then go ahead and make sure this is unchecked, because I think what this does is it constantly uses the first spawn point. It's kind of strange, but I went ahead and unchecked it, and I seem to be getting that result. So I just want to go ahead and point that out to you guys from the last video. Okay, so now level streaming distances and sublevels. All right, so I'm going to go up to Windows, I'm going to go to Levels, and I'm going to quickly go ahead and unload my NPC camps, and I'm going to create another one because I had to make sure I had this all set up correctly and that I didn't stumble around and slow down the actual tutorial. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to actually cover sublevels. And what I want you to do is go up to your Windows Levels, and I want you to hit the Summon Levels Detail button right here. And when you click that, you're going to see nothing right now. If you hit the none, you can see all these other levels right here. Okay, all the way down a list. All right. Now, what we need to do is we need to create another level. And so I'm going to create another sublevel. I'm going to go up to File, and I'm going to go to New Level, and we're going to pick an empty level, and everything should go black here. And then we're going to go hit File. We're going to go Save Current As. And what we want to do is we want to make sure we save the level in our height map folder where all of our world map tiles are. Now I'm going to call this NPC underscore camps. I think this is going to be number 2. Okay, actually, let's go 2. I'm going to go 2A. Okay, that way, excuse me, I have some sort of numbering sequence. Okay, that's for me. I mean, you can decide what you want to do with yours. I'm just going to go ahead and use that as my sequence. So I'm going to hit save, and it might take a little bit to save it. Okay, and once that's saved, we're going to go back to our content folder. We're going to go to our mod folder, and we're going to open up our persistent level. And it might take a little bit to load. And if you have to, you might have to fast forward a little bit. Sometimes it all depends. But usually it's pretty quick for the loading and saving. Okay, so now we're at our persistent level. I'm going to minimize this. Now what I want to do is I want to take our Windows levels. So Windows levels, which is this window here. I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and I'm going to see NPC Camps 2A. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open that camp up. Now under the level details panel, we should see something like this. I'm going to go ahead and close it and show you one more time. Summon level details. Okay, so right now I've opened up camps 2A. Now I want to have this level open. It's blank, it's empty, but what I need to do is I need to package it and parent it to the level I want to put it on. So I'm going to put it on height map 00 because I want to have two NPC camp levels on that map. So I'm going to go ahead and assign it to 00, and I'm going to close this. Now if I scroll up and I click down the little drop down, now I got NPC camps 1 and then I got a 2A here. Okay, and I'm going to have to rename this NPC camps 1 to an A, because I want to make sure that I have a sequence. These are going to be the A's under the 00s. You know, whatever you decide to do, that's your convention. You can go ahead and do that. So I'm going to quickly go to my height map folder, and I'm going to type NPC, and I'm going to right click on this, and I'm going to go rename. And this is what you can do too if you need to. If you need to correct a boo-boo on a thing, or your naming convention doesn't seem right, it will automatically update into the map hierarchy. Okay. And what I'm going to do also, I'm going to hit save all because I want to save NPC Camps 2A to make sure that it saves under the sublevel. So now, there you go, 1A, 2A. Okay? So that's how you do sublevels. All right? So that way, now, why would we do sublevels? Sublevels are designed to stream in at shorter distances. So say you're walking away and to the next area of the game. What we want to do is we want to unload these extra bits and pieces that we don't really need loaded up, because we don't want to overload our memory, but also our video card. So we want to kind of unload it for performance. Okay, so we can set a distance when it streams in and streams out. So now that's what we're going to cover next. Okay, so now I'm going to open up my NPC Camps 1A. Okay, and I'm going to come over here. And oops, sorry. And I'm going to also open up 00, my bad. Okay, and down here on 1A, I have two barrels placed. Okay, now if you can tell in my world outliner, and I have view options in the current level only. So currently right now I have the persistent level 00 open, so you can see my level bounds wrapping my level. Okay, now I'm going back to my Windows levels. I'm going to select NPC Camps 1. Now on NPC Camps 1, I have my two barrels loaded. I'm going to go View and Current Level Only. Okay, so now you see I got the barrel and the other barrel, and then my level bounds is connected here. So the level bounds is currently wrapping around the barrels. Now if you notice, I'm trying to move the level bounds and it won't move. Now if I uncheck the Auto Update Bounds box, I can go ahead and move the bounds level accordingly. Alright, but I also want to snap that back so that way the bounding box snaps to my two barrels. Now if you recall in the last video I told you about bounding boxes and staying within the bounds. Now what I want to do is show you a quick example of what happens when you have an object in the wrong level or placed in the distance on the correct level, but it's outside our bounds of our main level. Okay, not the sub level being messed up. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and highlight the bounding box. Now look at what happens. Now this is going to stream in from way over here. So this level bounds is streaming off and overlapping another level that's over here. So what you want to try to do is keep this in your area of operations. So we want to keep it within this area because it's a sub-level, not the main level. And our bounds is going to load up accordingly from distance. Okay, it's called the streaming distance. Now, I had to go ahead and set my streaming distances, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. So what we're going to do is go Windows Levels, okay, and we're going to go to Summon World Composition, okay. Now what you need to do at this step is you're going to take and create a new streaming distance. Now I already got some streaming distances set up because I got to show you on my next phase of this. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to hit the plus sign. So you guys hit the plus sign. Now what you're going to do is you're going to name this layer 75K, oops, 75K stream, STREAM, dis. Okay, and then you're going to do is you're going to set this to 75,000. Okay, do not check mark dynamically, just have it set up and name it 75K stream distance 75,000 right here in the streaming distance box. Okay, which is in red here. Then you're going to hit create. Okay, I'm not going to hit create because I've already got one set up. So you go ahead and hit create. Now what you're going to see is you're going to see your streaming thing. Mine's different. Okay. However, yours is going to still work the same. Now what you need to do is you need to come back over here to your levels. Okay, not your sublevels. So go ahead and make sure you unload your sublevels. I'm going to unload these. Okay. What you need to do is take your main height maps, okay, and you need to open them up. And what you're going to do on your main height map, so like I got 0, 0 for now for my example, I'm going to right click and I'm going to go down here to assign layer. You're going to assign it to your 75K stream distance layer. All right, and you're going to do that for all these levels. All right, and then once you've done that, what you're going to do is you're going to make sure you save them. And you're going to save all those levels. So you're going to go down through here, open each one of these. You can open a few at a time, depending on your machine. I don't want you to crash your machine. So you can load up maybe 3 or 4 or 5 at a time and load them up. Right click on them. Again, like I said, assign the layers once they're open. So you're going to right click, assign layer 75K. All right. Do that for all your main height maps. All right. Now on our sublevels, once you've got your sublevel open up, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to go over here and you're going to create a sublevel stream. I got mine set for 10K. All right. And I just called it NPC Camps 1A up here. All right. But you can name it whatever you want to do. So same thing. Just go ahead and name it. And then what you do is you go over here to your NPC camps, and I'm going to just do here for an example. I'm going to take my NPC camp here, and I'm going to go ahead and right click, and I'm going to assign layer, and it's going to be, wow, that's interesting. It's doing something funky again. DevKit is doing weird. All right, DevKit's doing weird. So I don't know why my NPC camps 1 is detached itself. Huh, okay. Maybe it did that because I renamed it, which is quite possible. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, let me create a new stream level distance here real quick. So I'm going to call this NPC underscore camps, and I'm going to call it 10K. And just because this thing's acting kind of funky, I'm going to go ahead and hit create. And I'm just going to make sure I go ahead and assign this one to that new layer. And then I'm going to hit save real quick, sorry. And one more time, I'm going to go ahead into my camps 1A down here, open that up, go to my summon details level, and I'm going to rearrange that so it falls under my 0, 0, and I'm going to hit save. All right, and I'm also going to make sure I assign the layer NPC camps 10K, hit save. All right. Okay, so I fixed my problem there. All right, so now, if you notice on my map, I got 0, 0 open, which is right here, right? So I'm going to hide 0, 0. Notice how I hide 0, 0. But notice that my NPC camps 1 with the barrels, remember our barrels up here? Those barrels are down here, stretched in on this bounds box. They're stretched apart, okay? So let me go ahead and unhide this real quick and show you one more time. So if we come down here to my barrel, there's our barrel. Let me slow my camera down. I'm flying around. Okay, so there's our barrel, and then barrel 2 is over there. So I'm going to go ahead and let's get those barrels really close. Now, if you watch me move the barrel, you should see our bounding box is updating there on the world composition window. You see that? Okay, so now that's how far, if we're like 10K away, they'll stream in. Okay, now I'm going to hit save here real quick. Save where those guys are positioned. I'm going to hit play from here. And I believe we're far enough. They might not stream in, but we'll check. Okay, so now, if you notice, do you see a barrel? I don't see a barrel. But what I need to do, though, real quick is hit M so I can close this, minimize it. Now, I don't see any barrels. Do you guys see the barrels? I don't. So let's go ahead and walk forward or run forward. As we're running, we should have some barrels pop in here. There they are. Okay, and if I back up, the barrels disappear. So what that is called level streaming. Okay, so as you get closer, it's like LODs, like level of detail from graphics. Trees popping in. You've probably seen it in Conan occasionally. You might see it. What it does is it pops out and pops in, is so that you can reduce the amount of stuff in the GPU from having to read and render. Okay, and it's also it helps on your machine so it doesn't load all the stuff into memory, so it keeps your memory down so you can continue to play the game really optimized. Now, like I said, as you notice, they pop in, they pop out, pop in, pop out. However, what you want to do with this type of thing is you want to make sure that these things aren't going to pop in front of the player because that's going to wreck your immersion. So you want to strategically figure out your streaming distances. Now I got set for 10K for my camps. However, I might have to increase those a little bit. But for now, I'm just doing 10K just to show you guys what can happen and how the level stream works as far as the sub level. So that's how our sub level is working. Now what I want to do is I want to show you, and I need to go into God mode here. Make sure we're in God mode. All right, and make sure we're not eating. All right, but I want to fly. And I'm also going to give you another little tidbit too. So down here, next to your number 1 key on your keyboard is what we call the tilde key. What I want you to do is type this, SLOMO, slow-mo, and let's do 10. Hit slow-mo 10. Now look at how my character's rocking, and notice how things are speeding along. Okay, with the shift key, I am speeding through the air. Okay, that speeds up the engine in the game world. Okay, but now what I want to show you next is, if you noticed down here my island, notice how it's not fully in? What I want to do is I want to show you how the level will stream in at 75K. It should pop in our tile. And hopefully this does not make me look like a liar. Boom. So there's our tile popping in. That's what level streaming does. And as I was telling you, it's like a chessboard. It's going to pop in and pop out. So as we move forward, the tiles behind us will start disappearing. But we're not looking that direction because we're down here looking this way, and our world's starting to pop in. Now you want to set it up to where you're not going to see that as your characters move along the world. You don't want them to see that to do that. So you might have to increase the distances so it pops in a little bit earlier. So I might have to go up to 100K for it to pop in, depending on how far you want things to go. Okay, so that's what level streaming is. Hopefully I've covered this and I made this more sensible so you understand what level streaming does and how levels stream in and stream out is to save memory, to reduce the taxation on your GPU, your graphics card, so it's not loading all this stuff in and giving you slow frame rates, etc. Okay, so hopefully this tutorial makes sense and I've covered this in depth enough to where you understand it completely. Okay, so now what I need to do is go ahead and hit Shift Escape. All right, so our level streaming is all set up. I'm going to go to Windows, Levels one more time. I'm going to go to World Composition. Here again, zoom in, zoom out. I'm going to move, I'm going to move in here. Now, one thing you can do too is you can actually move these tiles. Be very careful when you select them in World Composition. Sometimes you can actually snap them out of place, okay, with your mouse. And it's usually just snapping them back into place. Okay, so now let me see really quickly. Let's go ahead and load these levels up. And right click to maneuver this. You can do left click to highlight a bunch. If you want to unload them, load them in from here, you can. However, you can't unload them here unless you've already saved them. Otherwise, it's going to say, hey, do you want to unload a dirty level? So make sure you have this closed and just use the saves over here or do the mass save here under the save all. Okay. And I want to double check, make sure I'm saved all. Yep, I'm looking good. Okay, so remember that, keep that in mind. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and load this back up. And so we got these 4 tiles selected. All right. And what I'm going to do too quickly is I'm going to go ahead and let me speed up my camera real quick. All right, so my tiles are there. All right, the edge of the world. Okay. All right, so we're at that point where we have our spawns in and we have covered level streaming. We assigned our layers. Now, on the level streaming, I should cover this really quickly. Like I said, play around with your distances to figure out what works for you in certain places. Like I might have to reassign these a little bit because these are islands. So I want to make sure they just don't pop in. I might have to put some fog in a little bit, some distancing. These might need to load in just a little bit more earlier. That way they don't just pop in on the character and they make sense, okay? Because I want my players to feel immersed. I want them to enjoy their adventures on the map. Now, the one thing I noticed too is I think I loaded in the wrong island chain, which I'm kind of bummed out because, yeah, Tortage. Oh no, Tortage is down here. This is where I'm gonna have my harbor for Tortage. Okay, I'm good. Yeah, Snow's scaring himself. I'm scaring myself to death. All right. So that's level streaming distances. Like I said, you can play around with more. We're going to continue to add more stuff here. We'll probably add more entries here. But right now, this is to get you initially set up so that you can start, you know, doing your world here. And on the next tutorial, I believe, let me see where we're at. We're at 22 minutes, so we're still good. Um, I guess what we could do is we can kind of cover uh, collisions, which is blocking volumes. Now, we obviously don't want players to fall off our world, right? We don't want them to fall off. That would not be good. They would be hating you. We also have to have a safety net, okay? So now what we can do, and I have not tested this, but what we should be able to do is just grab the the safety net from the Conan Exiles map. So let me go ahead and save these up. All right, and let's go to our content folder. All right, now we're going to go borrow the safety net from Conan Exiles, and I'm going to double check, make sure we can actually do this, but I believe we should be able to do this with no problem. All right, so go to Conan Sandbox under Maps, go to the Conan Sandbox, and we'll be borrowing more stuff from here, but what I'm trying to do is trying to show you mostly from scratch. However, the only thing about some scratch stuff is it requires a lot more tinkering and work, like post-process volumes and lighting. We're going to kind of steal the Funcom ones because I don't want to spend over an hour to 2 hours trying to adjust lighting and show you to set all those volumes up because it is ridiculous. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there on how to set up some post-process volumes and stuff. So I'm going to try to keep this simple. Keep it simple, stupid. KISS. If you ever heard that acronym, keep it simple, stupid. And what we're going to do here is we're going to fly along the world here in the map. And this is out here is our safety net. Okay. Now we just got to be able to grab that, which is the BP safety net volume. Now they got volume 1 and volume 2, and I'm trying to figure out what the heck. Let me see what volume 1 is. This is interesting. I don't remember seeing another one. Let's just double check this just in case. Okay. Not quite sure why they have this one out here. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and we'll just copy both. Edit. Copy. Okay. And because the extents are kind of already set up, that way we don't have to sit here and play with these numbers down here in the Xbox extents of what I'm talking about. So we just copy those. So let's go back to our content folder. Go back down to our mod folder. And then let's open up our persistent level. Don't save the Conan sandbox. Okay, whatever you do, don't save that. Because you will overwrite stuff and put it in a mod folder inside your mod folder here in the background hidden, and then you're going to be spitting chips going, why am I losing space? It's because you've been saving stuff you shouldn't be saving in the mod folder. Okay, and I'll explain that later on down the road in the series. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's go right click and let's just hit edit and let's just hit paste. Don't hit paste here, just hit paste. That way it sets itself up just like it was on the Conan map. Our volumes should be here. Okay, and it should be at the appropriate levels. If you notice, here's our player spawns. Notice how the safety net is lower. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to save this, all right, and then let's go to Windows Levels. Let's go to 0, 0, and what we should be able to do is load up 0, 0, and I'm going to fly over here, and what we're going to test is we're going to get right here on the edge. We're going to hit play from here, and hopefully I'll play from there and not fall off yet. But what I want to do is I want to walk off the edge, and I want to make sure that this safety net will catch us, our players, just in case they fall through the world. Okay, so let's fall, and let's see if it catches us. Please, safety net, catch us. Okay, looks like it might be working. And ta-da-da! Okay, so now what did it do? It spawned us somewhere inside the world. Okay, so I don't know where it's going to spawn us. It might be just random. But at least it catches your player, so if your player falls off the world or falls through the world, that safety net's designed to catch us, because otherwise we'll perpetually fall unless we have a kill zone set up to kill the player. However, that safety net will catch us because when Conan first came out, they didn't have the safety net. I fell through the world. It corrupted my player database. Yes, that's right. So it was bad juju. But when they put the safety net in, hey, it protects you, okay, and protects your character and your character database, all right? Keeps you from getting corrupted. All right, so now we just proved the safety net works. So congratulations, we just did the safety net and made it to where that you're now safe. So if you fall through the world or your players fall through the world, they are going to be safely caught. And we don't have a map yet, so don't worry about maps. We'll get a map later. What I'm going to do is go to admin panel real quickly. I'm going to hit fly, and remember, tilde key, and if you hit shift up arrow, you can bring back an old entry that you've had in there previously. So now I can fly across the world quickly and get back over here. Okay? Alright, so we're back here, but let's go back over here to the edge real quick. And let's just try this one more time. I want to see whether this is a random location that it spawns us to, because this will give us a good information like, hey, it's just random, you know. All right, escape, admin panel, let's stop flying. Let's hit walk. Oh, and let's bring up slow-mo again. And if you bring up slow-mo again, shift up arrow and then hit enter. Okay, what it can do, oops, I didn't mean to say enter. What I meant to say was shift up arrow, backspace at 1 and hit slow-mo 1. Slow-mo 1 will bring us back to normal movement mode. Okay? Alright, so now we're back to normal speed. Alright, we're going to fall off the world again. Let's see if it's random or it spawns us exactly right back where we were. And if this is the case, then it might spawn us in the water once we get water working. And it looks like it spawned us in the exact same spot. And it possibly might randomly, the further we go in on the map, it might spawn you closer to the map edge. Okay? So I think we got that covered. All right, let me hit shift escape. All right, so now back to what we were talking about. We don't want our players to fall through the world, so we have our safety net up. Now we need to keep them from falling off the map regardless. So let's go to Windows, let's go to Levels, and what we can do here is what we need to do is zoom out, and let's go ahead and open up each corner tile, just 4 tiles, so it should be okay on your machines. So we'll do the 4 tiles on the corner, okay? So now you can see the 4 tiles from a distance. See that? Okay, the reason why I did that is because what we're going to do is we're going to take a blocking volume. So let's go up to Windows. We're going to go to Modes, and we're going to go place actors. We're going to go type blocking volume. Okay? Now let's go ahead and let's grab the blocking volume and we're going to pull it out here. It's like a little purple box down here, see? Okay, and what we want to do is we're going to go over here to our world outliner, right click, create a new folder. Oops, And let's turn off and only in level. And let's type this here real quick. We're going to type world map blockers. Or no, let's do world map. Yeah, let's do blockers. Okay. And why I do that is because what we're going to do now is we're going to take that blocker that we created, right? And we're going to scale it up. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the scale on it. Let's go 5,000. Okay. And let's see, that's pretty big. We're pretty close, but let's go ahead and bring it over. And let's see, 5,000 might be just a little too large. Okay, let's go bring her down. Let's crank her down to 4,000. Okay, so 4,000. Let's see here where we're at. So if we go here at 4,000, all right, and we go over here, we might be at 4,500. We might have to do. Ooh, we're pretty close to the edge there. So let's go ahead and. Oops. If we hold down shift and we move the transform, right, we can actually slow down the speed. That way we're not overshooting. So now let's double check this really quickly. And the reason why I'm doing it this way is just kind of show you how you can kind of create a blocking volume that will extend along the edge. Okay, so we're just a little short. So let's do, like I said, let's do 4,500. Okay, so that shoots us over a little bit that way. Let's do 41. Where's that puts us? Okay, let's do 50. 4,050. And let's just make sure. This might get a little crazy, but I'm just double checking it. So you gotta just kind of work the numbers out and play and figure, okay, there we go. That might be our winning ticket. Oops. And just like I said, hold down the shift and then you can take your transform arrow, move it, and what it should do, oops, hold down shift and use your mouse to click the arrow. Notice that we're like there. So it's precise move it and I don't overshoot it. Now flying back here quickly, where are we at? We're at 33 minutes. Okay, we're just getting a little overboard there, Snow. All right, so now I speed up my mouse, using my mouse wheel to speed along. Oh, okay, yeah, we're pretty good. It's okay if we have a little bit of overlap, so let's go like that. Now let's go ahead and take the Y. Let's go ahead and make that just 1,000. Let's see how tall that is. Oops, not Y, sorry. Z is, my bad. We want Y, we only want it to be about 100. Okay, no, maybe less than that. 50? That's our thickness, okay? Let's do 25. There, 25. Okay, and then for our Z scale, let's do 1,000. Why did that do that? Let me see. Okay, yeah, there we go. Sorry, it looked funny from a distance. My bad. I should have came in closer. All right, so that's 1,000. No, that's 100. So let's do 1,000. Okay, that's 1,000. So that's pretty tall. And what we can do is we can bring that blocking volume up to be even taller, all right, or a little bit lower depending, okay? But also remember, if we need to put dungeons in later, we want to make sure these don't interfere, okay? But this is one way you can block people from falling off your world. So what I'm going to do is just quickly go like this. Oops, Control Z, undo that real quick. Let me do unpasting because I forgot one thing. Make sure you do your snap. So that way you can rotate and it snaps to the 90. Control, copy, Control V. Now I can do a 90 because I made another copy. It's called blocking volume 1. I did a 90 on it. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and place it over here on the map. Okay. And as you can tell, it looks a little funky from a distance. It looks like it's not covering, but as we get closer, notice how the blocking volume renders in and says, oh, yep, okay, I'm at the edge of the map. All right, so that's good. And then what we do is we just adjust it and bring it over. Now, the only caveat to this is right now is like, okay, so let's hit play and I'll show you what I mean. The blocking volume is great. It'll block you. However, our players will be able to climb it. And so what we might have to do, let me just slow most of the speed this up because I don't want to take too much more on the tutorial. Well, snow, that actually was embarrassing. We were supposed to not be blocked. Let me make sure maybe I was at the wrong spot. This is a little weird, but alright, we'll speed it up. That was kind of embarrassing. I'm supposed to be showing you how to block yourself from falling off the world, not fall off the world and get safety netted. Now our blocking volume should be here. I might not have had it over all the way. Hopefully here I got it covering the edge. Otherwise I'm going to do a repeat of snow falling off the world again. How embarrassing. Yeah, good one, Snow. Good one, bud. How embarrassing you are to all of us. I know. Oh! Okay. Snow screwed up. Alright, let me see. Shift escape. So, depth perception is a must. And our blocking volume should be blocking. And it's not because, well, we're not really on it, so we're not really blocking it. So if I bring it over now I should be blocking. So let's hit play from here one more time. And now I should show you, we should not be able to get past this. Okay? Okay. Now, there's another trick to this that I want to show you too. So there's some more tools, but I don't want to overwhelm you. I just want to show you some basics and how to start out, because this can, oops, this can get overwhelming with tools. Why is it not blocking? Okay, hold on. Snow, what's going on? Why is it not blocking? Is this not blocking? Why is our blocker not blocking? Let's look here. This should be blocking. Blocking volume. Blocking volume. Okay, collision presets, invisible wall. Oh, you know what? Sorry, my bad, guys. I forgot. On here, there's one step I forgot. On the volume blockers, make sure you go down here, hit block all from invisible wall, hit save. Now what we should be able to do on that blocking volume is we should not be able to pass through it now. So let me show you. All right, let's try this. Here we go. Oops. Slow-mo quickly, slow-mo 10. Well, okay, this is definitely embarrassing me. And the blocking volume is not functioning accordingly. Why is that not functioning accordingly? Let's hit play from here really quickly one more time. Did I make sure I signed this one? Well, we'll find out here in a second. Okay. Shift escape. Let me double check. Blocking volume. Character step on yes, block all. Okay, let me see modes. Yeah, there should be the blocking volume. Volumes, blocking volume. I'm just gonna, let me test this one right here. That is really bizarre. It should be blocking us. Okay, why ain't these blocking volumes functioning? Okay. Okay, this is really bizarre. Let me move this over here. Okay, this tutorial is at what? Oh, 40 minutes. Shoot. Play for me. I'm trying to keep these to 30, and I do apologize. Really quickly, let's see if we can figure this out. I don't want to take an hour to do this, so if I have to cut this, hold on a second, guys. Let's see this. Let's go to weak details and go visible. It should be able to say visible in game really quickly so we can actually see it. Okay. Windows, levels. Let me get my barrel out. That way I'm not doing current level only. Control copy. Control V or edit, paste here. And I'm just going to put this barrel here so I know to run to the left of it here. Actually, let me put one more barrel. Control copy, Control V. That way I know exactly, yeah, there we go. So I know the cube is in the middle there. Oh, sorry guys, 40 minutes. I do not mean to go this long. 41. Okay. This is embarrassing. Okay, the blocking volumes are not currently functioning. This is a little bizarre. Okay, so it might be something to do with Unreal. I might have to restart the editor. But we'll work on blocking volumes here on probably on the next tutorial. We'll go ahead and cover that. So I do apologize we haven't got it fixed in this one, but we will get it in the next one and kind of go from there. This is a little bizarre. So I do apologize. All right, guys. Thank you for watching the tutorials, and please let me know what you think of this video and all the other ones so far. Have they been handy, helpful? Did I miss something you think, or I need to cover something a little bit more? Hopefully I've gotten this in depth enough to where you guys are understanding it. It's flowing good and you feel like it's functioning and it's helping you actually build a custom map. So just please let me know in the comments, on the Patreon, in Discord. I really appreciate that. Thank you, and stay frosty, stay sharp, and I will see y'all next time. Bye, everybody.